Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our thought for the day. Perhaps you have read or did read ahead of time the agenda for today, and at the bottom of it was this saying or this quote, and I'll repeat, things turn out the best for people who make the best of the way things turn out. Think about that, ladies. Things turn out the best for people who make the best of the way things turn out. There is no doubt the emotional and mental turmoil we have faced these many months have been immense and immeasurable. Amidst all the cancellations, physical distancing, quarantines, separations, etc., and I could go on, but I won't. The one critical factor that remains a constant in our lives and for the 2019 and 2021 DKG Ohio State organization and its leadership team was the fact that we always possessed, regardless of the outside influences, the power to determine our own mindset, our own ability to write or change the narrative, our ability to choose our own perspective, and our own thoughtfulness and understanding of our own responsiveness. And that, ladies, we did. You did. Throughout the 2019-2021 biennium, Ohio's state leadership team, which includes most of you, if not all of you, chose to see obstacles or challenges as opportunities rather than problems, barriers, or roadblocks. You chose to step out of your own comfort zones and undertake alternatives never before attempted by our state organization. You chose to believe change, while unsolicited, can uncover unexpected outcomes to benefit all involved. You said yes to challenges that would continue to propel our state organization forward. You chose to say yes to new experiences, options, and to view them as with endless possibilities. You chose to say yes to investing in the state president's theme, believe, belong, build. You said yes to making Zoom your new best friend and pal. You said yes to making a difference no matter the undertaking. You said yes to becoming as helpful as you could be to enable others to succeed and remain connected to DKG. And yes, you chose to say yes, to give yourselves permission to try. As I see it, the quote I read to you at the beginning best describes how you and the OSO leadership team have navigated the long months of this COVID biennium. For certain and beyond a shadow of a doubt, I am most proud of all who made the best of the way things turn out. I will be forever grateful for your kind words of encouragement, supportive understanding, and patience, and for believing in us as an organization. I have been inspired by the way our chapters have creatively, resourcefully, and enthusiastically maintained and build their chapters' connectivity. I have been impressed with those who possess the ability to think outside the proverbial box and put that extra needed twist to an old idea, making it new and workable again. It has been exciting to observe how eager and determined many of you were to rise to the occasion, and meet the challenges you faced as opportunities. I want to commend all of you today for making many generous pitchers of lemonade. As Linda Deltz, our convention coordinator, said, if you're given lemons, make lemonade, and you made it by the buckets. You make me so very proud to be your OSO state president. I could go on and on about how much you have taught me this biennium, but I think it would be better to just finish by saying thank you from the bottom of my heart for believing in, belonging to, and building our DKG Ohio State organization. Next on the agenda is a song I wish to dedicate to all of you. It is a special OSO rendition of Don't stop believing. I want you to never stop believing in yourselves. And if you remember the words Layla Kabush said last night, you must first believe in yourself before you can believe in others. I want you to never stop believing in the principles, the ideals, and purposes of Delta Kappa Gamma. I want you to know this song is for you. Don't stop believing. Okay, Eileen, you're on.
Just a new teacher, living in her first year world. She took this job so she could go everywhere.
Just a seasoned vet, teaching school with no regrets. She took this job so she could go everywhere.
A mentor in a new teacher's room, the smell of markers and Elmer's glue. For a smile they could share the day. It goes on and on and on and on. Help me learn this. I don't know how to work the Zoom. Help me to control my room. PD won't cut this. DKG, we're looking to you for programs to shed some light.
How long to the last day of school?
We have 30 days.
30 days. Not that I'm counting, okay? But we have
30 days.
working hard to get through May.
Past June 1, I don't want to stay. Vacay is calling me just one more time. To the beach, to the pool. I just don't want to go near a Zoom. Virtual learning just never ends. It goes on and on and on and on. Help me learn this. I don't know how to work the Zoom. Help me to control my room. PD won't cut this. DKG, we're looking to you for programs to shed some light. Don't stop believing. That's it, newbies, keep that feeling. Don't stop believing.
This is how cute it is. That was from two characters from our chapter. I told them what I wanted, and this is what they gave us. And I thank them very much for their contribution. Hope it lightened your day. We
Hey,
will now.
Diana, I have a suggestion before we move on. This is Sharon and Mary.
Yes.
You really ought to send that to Mike DeWine. Here's why. It would be a great plug for our society. And he may do something that would encourage other young teachers to become involved.
Yeah, and tell your girls not to, they did wonderful. They sound wonderful. Because you know how we're always afraid of putting ourselves out there. Great job.
Thank you, ladies. And I want you to know they are gorgeous singers. So I think this was their attempt at humor for sure, and to lighten and thank all of you for all you have done, especially our active teachers and what they face day to day. I know how frustrating it must have been. I felt helpless being able to not help in any way, but I did send them my prayers and thoughts and hope them for the best. So we will now move on to the installation of our 2021-2023 state officers.
Good morning. Incoming officers and nominating committee. The members of Ohio State Organization of the Delta Kappa Gamma Society International have placed their trust in you for the responsibilities of your offices and the growth and success of the state organization for the next 2 years. You will have great influence on the state organization's growth and progress in its status within the international society and its impact on educational excellence in each community, statewide, and globally.
It is my honor to introduce the 2021-2023 nominating committee members. Area 1 Northeast, Sally Gilmore, Sigma. Area 2 Southeast, Carol Remington, Beta Iota. Area 3 Northwest, Deborah Mahalik, Alpha Sigma. Area 4 Southwest, Judy Gerwe, Beta Nu. Area 5 Central, Beverly Babbert, Delta Theta. The nominating committee should be sufficiently acquainted with the members to know their suitability for office and secure their consent to serve. Their qualifications and commitment must be seriously considered, for the success of an organization is dependent upon the right leadership. Will you accept this responsibility?
I will.
Meyer, oh, there you are, okay.
You're my
Sorry. All right, we'll try again. Joyce, you have been appointed to continue as the parliamentarian for Ohio State Organization and will be a member of the executive board and advisor to state organization officers and members. We are confident that you will perform the responsibilities of this office with leadership, commitment, and passion. Will you accept this responsibility?
Did she say yes?
Yes.
Diana, you have been elected by the Ohio State Organization Executive Board to continue as treasurer and will be a member of the executive board and advisor to the state organization officers and chapter treasurers. We are confident that you will perform the responsibility of this office with leadership, commitment, and passion. Will you accept this responsibility?
I will. Beth, you're muted, Beth.
Sorry. Cindy, as corresponding secretary and a member of the Ohio State Organization Executive Board, you will be responsible for expressing the goodwill of our organization in attending to its general correspondence. We are confident that you will perform the responsibilities of this office with leadership, commitment, passion, and a great sense of humor. Do you accept this responsibility?
I will.
And as recording secretary and a member of Ohio State Organization Executive Board, you will be responsible for keeping accurate records of the proceedings of all meetings of the state organization. We are confident that you will perform the responsibilities of this office with leadership, commitment, and passion. Will you accept this responsibility?
I will.
Is Michelle here?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure where she is. I'm trying to spotlight you and I can't find you.
Say yes again, please.
Yes.
She
Okay.
still isn't popping up.
If I need to talk more, I'm here.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Okay, Michelle. As second vice president and member of Ohio State Organization Executive Board, you will preside in the absence of the president or first vice president and assume their duties if they are unable to perform. You may be asked to fulfill additional responsibilities by the president. Your influence and energies are vital to the support of the president. We are confident that you will perform these responsibilities of the office with leadership, commitment, and passion. Will you accept this responsibility?
I will.
Dr. Kirby? Oh, I know. Which one do you have? I have Melody McGee. Okay. I know she's here. Melody, say something.
I'm right here.
There you go. And Dr. Kirby?
I'm here.
Can you find her, Linda? There she is. And then what happened to Melody?
Melody, as first vice president and member of Ohio State Organization Executive Board, you will serve as presiding officer in the absence of the president and assume her responsibilities automatically if she is unable to perform. You may be asked to fulfill additional responsibilities by the president. Your influence and energies are vital to the support of the president and OSO. We are confident that you will perform the responsibilities of this office with leadership, commitment, and passion. Will you accept this responsibility?
I will.
Great, thank you.
Debbie, can you talk for a second?
I'm here.
Okay. Virginia Koch? Is Jenny not here?
I'm right here.
There you go. You're on, Jenny.
Debbie, as Ohio State Organization President, you will chair the Ohio State Organization Executive Board and serve as a voting member of the International Executive Board. You will represent the state organization at regional conferences and international conventions. You must contain contact with your chapters and participate at all three levels of the society. Members will look to you for inspiration, leadership, and commitment. Will you accept this responsibility with passion for the purposes of the society?
Yes, I will.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. We now have new officers for 2021,
Diana? Should I
Yeah.
finish?
It would be a good job, yes.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Members of the Ohio State Organization, you have witnessed the installation of our 2021-2023 officers. In order to ensure state organization success this biennium, you must cooperate with, give your loyalty to, and support these new leaders. Will you accept your responsibility?
Yes, we will.
We will.
Newly installed officers, the success and growth of Ohio State Organization rests with your leadership for the next 2 years. Each of you has the power to strengthen the state organization. Your members believe in you, and you can rely on the commitment and gain strength from the support as our society becomes stronger through your leadership. We offer our best wishes as you assume your responsibilities to Ohio State Organization and the Delta Kappa Gamma Society International.
Thank you, Kim. I want to show you what the president's pen will look like.
You're muted. You're muted. That's my fault, sorry.
That's all right. I didn't do it this time, ladies. Here's the pens. Want you to see. Just wish I could give them to Debbie. And there's the guard. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, you're here. I can give you your pen. Here you go.
Thank you.
Oh, and congratulations. I'm excited. How about you? I do. A sincere wish and congratulations to all of you. We look forward to your leadership. Okay, sorry, we'll start that again. Congratulations to all of you, and we look forward to your leadership, which actually begins today, but formally July 1st, 2021. Now, it is our pleasure to recognize the 2019-2020 Gold Key chapters, and I'm going to turn over the floor to Chairman or Gold Key Coordinator, Judy McClanahan. Judy?
It is my privilege to recognize the Gold Key chapters for the year 2019 to 2020. These chapters have dealt with the many challenges they were given, the changes to the Gold Key requirements, and COVID-19. In August, I was pleased to present these 44 chapters with the Gold Key and one chapter recognized as the Honor Chapter. At the end, once again, congratulations to the following Gold Key chapters: Gamma, Delta, Zeta, Theta, Kappa, Mu, Chi, Psi, Alpha Gamma, Alpha Delta, Alpha Eta, Alpha Mu, Alpha Nu, Alpha Xi, Alpha Sigma, Alpha Epsilon, Alpha Chi, Alpha Psi, Beta Gamma, Beta Delta, Beta Zeta, Beta Eta, Beta Kappa, Beta Nu, Beta Rho, Beta Epsilon, Beta Chi, Beta Psi, Gamma Alpha, Gamma Eta, Gamma Theta, Gamma Iota, Gamma Lambda, Gamma Mu, Gamma Nu, Gamma Xi, Gamma Sigma, Gamma Phi, Gamma Delta Delta, Delta Theta, Delta Kappa, Delta Mu, Delta Phi, Delta Chi, and our Honor Chapter, Gamma Pi. As we go back to everyone, those chapters, if they would get their certificates and hold them up.
I want everybody to go to gallery view, and you can see everybody with their certificates. Hold them up, wave them.
Hold them up now.
And you'll have to scroll through the 9 different screens. Look at them. How great is this? Amazing. Thank you, Judy, and thank you, chapters. We will now proceed to recognize the 2019-2021 Milestone Chapters. Linda Diltz will have this honor.
Thank you. I just want to share with you folks, the admit button is right there, but beside the button to mute President Diana. So all the time she's been muted, probably 3/4 of the times, it's been my fault. I would like to recognize the Milestone Chapters for 2019 through 2020. Psi, founded in November 1st, 1939. Alpha Sigma, October 7th, 1939. Alpha Tau, October 7th, 1939. Alpha Upsilon, October 28th, 1939. Alpha Phi, October 28th, 1939. Alpha Chi, October 20th, 1939. Alpha Psi, November 4th, 1939. Alpha Omega, November 7th, 1939. Beta Alpha, November 11th, 1939. Beta Gamma, November 11th, 1939. Beta Delta, November 18th, 1939. Beta Epsilon, March 10th, 1940. Beta Zeta, December 2nd, 1939. Beta Eta, December 2nd, 1939. Beta Iota, March 16th, 1940. Beta Lambda, April 13th, 1940. Those are chapters celebrating 80 years. Congratulations. Those celebrating 65 years. Beta Upsilon, May 28th, 1955. Beta Chi, June 28th, 1955, and celebrating 40 years. Delta Omega, May 17th, 1980. Those chapters for 2020 through 2021, Milestone Chapter celebrating 80 years. Beta Nu, May 10th, 1941, 75 years. Beta Kappa, November 10th, 1945, 65 years. Beta Psi, October 1st, 1955. Gamma Alpha, April 13th, 1956. Gamma Beta, May 12th, 1956. Gamma Gamma, May 12th, 1956. 60 years. Gamma Lambda, April 15th, 1961. Gamma Mu, April 29th, 1961. Gamma Nu, April 29th, 1961. Celebrating 55 years. Gamma Upsilon, September 17th, 1965. Gamma Phi, May 21st, 1966. 50 years of celebrating. Gamma Chi, November 7th, 1970. Delta Alpha, November 7th, 1970. Delta Delta, June 19th, 1971. Celebrating 45 years. Delta Chi, October 25th, 1975. Delta Psi, June 5th, 1976. If you would all put your, well, once we get the PowerPoint down, you may go to gallery view. And if you have a certificate for being a milestone chapter, please hold those up and give them a wave. And again, you're going to have to scroll through to see all of these. So if you have a certificate for being a milestone chapter, please hold up your certificate for all of us to see.
Wave it proudly, ladies. And I wish a late belated happy birthday to those in 2019, 2020. And for those who are celebrating your birthdays this year, a glorious happy birthday to all of you. And I am hoping that once you are all back together, you'll have one big party to celebrate.
All right, you may put your screens back on speaker view, and Meyer Bauer has a presentation to make.
As is tradition, Diana, your leadership wishes to thank you for all you have done this biennium. And with the help of Debbie, she needs
Right
to
here.
appear.
You're fine.
Oh,
Okay, you entered this biennium with your theme of Believe, Belong, Build. And so back at the Des Moines Botanical Center, when I saw this book, I knew it was meant for you.
do I open it now?
Please open it.
You get to hear the chimes right on score. Oh my goodness. She saved everything. And she couldn't tell I did like polka dots, could she? On the package, it says, we all have our own kind of life to pursue, our own kind of dream to be weaving, and we all have the power to make wishes come true as long as we believe. I gave those to all my officers last year when I was installed, and it had a little gold charm that says believe. I will give that one back to you, Meyer, because I have one extra one that I kept for myself. So I will open
However, it seemed the perfect thing to go on this package.
Oh. Some things have to be believed to be seen. Oh, and I missed that. How did I miss that when we went there?
Okay, now you can't look at the book now. We have to move on. You
Okay,
get to keep
I'm
that and look
sorry. I'm a
later.
teacher. I like to read.
I know, but I knew that was the perfect thing for you. Now, Debbie
Thank
has
you.
another gift that she will provide to you. And the message inside your card is that into every life, some rain must fall. You probably felt as though it were a flood. And
No, a
yet-
monsoon.
and yet you provided bright spots throughout. So please open your second gift.
Polka dots again. Oh,
And the
I go
bloom,
outside and open it.
no, the blooms on this umbrella become more colorful the wetter they get.
That's what it'll look like. Thank you for doing that. I didn't want to open it inside.
I know.
Not that I'm superstitious or anything. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
And then there is
More?
one more. And now may your garden be filled with blooms to remind you of your biennium of service and those who served with you.
You want me to open this? Do I read number 3 and it says, please? Oh, okay. For those of you who know me well, know that I love to putt in the garden. We've moved and I'm still putting around here. I haven't quite decided what my landscaping is going to be, but
It is a very generous gift certificate that
from my
Pam-
favorite green plants
that's
plus
what I heard. I had to do a little snooping.
research, obviously. Do I open it?
Yeah, I don't think the amount's on there,
Oh,
but I have the
okay.
receipt.
Thank you for what you have done.
Well, thank you. You know, ladies, I haven't done anything more than what anybody else would have done in my position. A little more challenging, and I turned all those challenges into opportunities. And you made it easy because you did your jobs, and I appreciate it so much. And from the bottom of my heart to the end of my toes, I thank each and every one of you for all that you have done, for all that you have taught me. And believe me, you've taught me plenty. Thank you so much. I'm just so humbled by your gifts. I thank you,
And-
Minor, so much. Thank you, thank you.
And a thank you to Debbie and to Joyce for assisting in making this possible for a virtual event. Thank
Okay, they'll pay for that later, okay?
you.
Okay, well, while we are totally off script, ladies, I'm going to do something in the next few minutes to let you know that I want to honor and give recognition to give honor and recognition to 2 deserving individuals. You know, as OSO president, I have the opportunity to give what they call the Appreciation Award to an individual each year in my biennium. This started back in 1988, and I wish to continue that practice today. Now, I'm going to be giving you some hints, and I'm hoping that you will collectively put those in your mind and try to figure out who those 2 individuals I wish to honor today and recognize. Both of these individuals are busy women who have served their chapters by holding almost all, if not everyone, every office, every committee position possible, including president of their chapter. Neither individual is able to sit still or remain in one place for any length of time. And they seemingly are able to juggle a variety of projects all at one time. I'm not sure how they do it because I have trouble walking and chewing gum at the same time. And if you'll notice, you seldom see me chewing gum, so I can walk. Both have a wonderful sense of humor, although one has the wit that is a little more drier than the other, but still it's very pleasing and enchanting. Both have a passion for Delta Kappa Gamma and will go above and beyond to help whenever they can. One arrived on the state scene in 2011, while the other has served numerous capacities. I'm just not sure the year it was that she did begin her service at the state level. One has served on a DKG International Committee. One has written and published a children's book. One says she is retired, but still continues to be a math supervisor for student teachers at Ohio Christian University. Both have hearts of gold, one having received the opportunity to attend the Golden Gift Seminar in Austin, Texas. Both have been truly my lifeline for the past 2 years. I could always count on them to tell me the truth or to tell me like it needs to be said, especially when I come up with some of my crazy, wacky, harebrained schemes and ideas. I now suspect that you have a fairly good idea as to who these two key women educators may be. I am pleased and proud to announce my first recipient of the 2021 Appreciation Award is our webmaster since 2011, Eileen McNally. Our second recipient is Linda Deltz, our 2019-2021 convention coordinator. They have been my lifesavers. And Eileen, where are you? Can we spotlight Eileen and spotlight Linda?
I'm here.
Now you stop that right now. See, she's chuckling. You never talk to Eileen unless she's laughing about something. Linda and Eileen, like I said, there are not enough words to tell you how much I appreciate all that you have done, have continued to do for me. I will never begin to explain my full appreciation and gratitude for all that you have done. So right now, all I can simply say is thank you. Thank you. I do have your certificates and a little bit of something special for each of you, but I am not going to give Linda hers before I give you yours, Eileen. So what's going to happen is I'm going to pick you both up. We'll go out to lunch and I will give you the biggest hug possible to both of you. Thank you. Just thank you so much.
Thank
I don't
you.
know what else.
It's been a pleasure and a privilege.
I say the same thing. You have been a delight to work with, and thank you.
Well, you've deserved it both, and you've kept me on the straight and narrow, which I'm sure the membership has appreciated. So, and if they don't know, they should appreciate it. So, thank you, and we'll go back on script. Let's give these two gals some appreciation too, guys. I know you all know what they have done and what they do. Let's go to gallery screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at the hearts, guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How sweet.
Yay, yay.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, Kathy. Hey, stay there, Kathy. Don't go away. I've got something to say to you too.
Oops.
You were next on my list, by the way.
Oh, okay. I'm already crying over your last two.
This is Kathy Daugherty, our immediate past
International president.
She was
Not
with
has been.
yeah, she is not a has-been. She was with us last night and gave us news from International. She was with us Tuesday evening for a roundtable discussion, and it was enlightening. And I could have listened to it. Ladies, we need to mute.
Okay, you got your list.
Okay, feedback's over. Where was I? Oh, and I could have listened to her all night. I love her Southern drawl, and she's very interesting to talk to and has very much to offer. And we thank you for being our Ohio representative to convention. If you haven't already, you will be receiving a package of our appreciation. Don't get real excited. It's nothing big and enormous. It's just, a token of our appreciation for your willingness for maybe the third time to attempt to come to our convention. So
It's been a long haul.
It has been a long haul, but it's been well worth it. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much. And we do appreciate all you have done.
Thank you.
For DKG through the many years that you have been with us, and your leadership, amazing. So thank you so much.
Well, leaders like you make it easy for leaders like myself. So you were very fortunate, Ohio, to have Diana, and I know it will continue. You've always had strong leadership. So thank you. And I've really enjoyed being here and being part of all of this. I really have.
We're not over yet. It's not over yet.
I know, it's just beginning, really.
Okay, I'm going to turn it. Yeah, thank you, Kathy. I'm going to turn it, the mic over to, if I can find her, Melody McGee, our second VP and Educational Excellence. Speak up, Melody, so I can highlight you.
I'm right here.
Oh, there you go. Okay, gotcha. And I need Rebecca Segoda. Rebecca, speak up.
I'm here.
Okay, I still don't see you.
Red turtleneck, glasses.
You know how many people have red on today?
I do, I noticed. I noticed.
Okay, I'm gonna, okay. Linda, help me out here. See if you can, there she is. There we go. Yes. Okay, all righty. You're on, Melody.
All right, you couldn't see me before when we did the installation ceremony, but here I am now. To our Ohio State Organization President, Diana Kirkpatrick, the entire Ohio State Organization Executive Board, our inspirational speaker for this morning says that from growing up believing that being seen and heard meant being hurt, to playing it small for the first 55 years of her life and not having the courage or confidence to share her special message with others, Rebecca Segoda finally stepped up and stepped out of her shell. It was while working on an engineering degree that Rebecca fell in love with the concepts of quantum physics in her studies and how they might be applied to the human mind and body. She left the engineering program and completed her Bachelor of Science degree with majors in counseling and marketing from Franklin University in Columbus, Ohio, while simultaneously working toward her medical massage therapy license from the American Institute of Alternative Medicine. Rebecca has also received and used the following certifications in her holistic therapy practice, which include hypnotherapy, Reiki master, a minister, a yoga instructor, medical intuitive, a life coach, and a certified infinitive possibilities trainer. Rebecca lives in Columbus, Ohio with her husband and has 2 adult sons. She finds herself happiest doing her life's mission, which is communicating with and reaching as many young people with the message of helping others see and understand their power to manage their own minds and therefore produce the needed tools in order to create the lives of their dreams as she did hers. She also enjoys traveling with her family, and she says, and getting her hiking shoes dirty. This morning, Rebecca will walk us through a journey on how she applied her own life's education, work, and lessons of believing in herself, along with the understanding the strengths and benefits of belonging to a generous, supportive community. We will also explore some of her life challenges and how they led her to build a dream of becoming a published author, professional speaker, and the creator of her international youth empowerment program entitled I Believe in Me. Our Gamma New Chapter had the wonderful opportunity in 2018 to hear her presentation during one of our chapter meetings. It is my sincere pleasure to present to you our inspirational speaker for this morning. At our 2021 Ohio State Organization Convention, Rebecca Segoda. Let us receive her with a Delta Kappa Gamma Society welcome.
Thank you, Melody. Thank you so much. And thank you, Diana, for asking me to be here today. And thank you to all of you who stuck around to hear me speak today. You know, I'm really humbled to be here because the idea of me ever getting in front of people and speaking was not something I ever even considered up to 10 years ago. So in my mid 50s is when this all sort of began to unfold for me. And it's not what I anticipated at all. Thoughts become things, that's what they say, no matter who you are, each night and every day. So think about what you think about, what you think, say, and do, because thoughts become things from your mind into the world, and then they come back to you. Beliefs are the key behind your thoughts and what you feel. You can choose what you believe. You decide what's real. When you choose to believe what's the best to do, you'll say, I believe in me, and I believe in you. We all have emotions like happy and sad. They tell us how we feel, both good and bad, like thoughts and beliefs. You get to choose, so choose to feel good. You've got nothing to lose. When you choose to take action, things get done. You move towards your goals. You're halfway done. Keep the goal in mind. Take steps each day. Success is yours. You are on your way. Now, that's just the first 4 verses of a rap song that I created for the kids in the program, I Believe in Me. Now, I have to tell you, I don't like rap. I don't listen to rap. I never knew anything about rap. And then one day I woke up in the morning with this in my head, and it demanded to be written down, and it demanded to be added to the program. And when I say demanded, I have a voice. I'm sure you all have a voice as well. And it's what wrote this program and moved through me. And there are lots of things that you can call that. I call it divine intervention. It's kind of been doing this to me for a while, and I tend to listen. Now, as professional educators, my guess is you all had times in your career when something crossed your desk or came in your inbox that was something to share with your students, and you looked at it and went, oh, I really don't want to do that. But as you thought about it and realized it would be helpful for your students, you did it anyway. That's kind of what happened to me with this rap song. When it came through me, I tried to give it to somebody else. There are people in my community who do stuff like rap. And I'm like, can you do this for me? I'll make a video and use it for the kids. Can you do this for me? And they all went, no, Rebecca, you're going to have to do it. And I thought, oh, come on, seriously? I'm 63 years young. And the idea of me dancing around a stage in front of people, or even in front of a classroom of students in my 60s doing a rap song just feels silly. But you know what? If it's good for the students, we do it, right? Anyway, when your President Diana asked me if I would be your inspirational speaker for today, I asked what the theme of the conference was. And when she said, believe, belong, and build, my head did one of these. Because in my mind, the only way that I was able to do this and create this youth empowerment program was because I had to believe. I had to believe in myself. I had to believe in the community that I belonged to, that they would help me. And I knew that together we could build this thing. So I love the concepts of believe, belong, and build. And today I'm hoping to share with you how some of that unfolded for me throughout the years. So first, we're going to just share a little bit about my background. And to be honest, this is the part I don't like. It still makes me a little bit uncomfortable. But I think it's important when we look at our whole life. Oftentimes, when we reach this age, we can connect a lot of dots about why things had to happen so that we could get to where we are today. And that's how I felt and how you'll see this kind of unfold through what I'm going to share with you today. So I grew up in Southern California on a very small ranch. I grew up less than privileged, a barefoot tomboy. I am the youngest of 4 children. I have 2 older sisters and an older brother. And my mother passed away when I was 18 months old. My father was an extremely abusive alcoholic. Within a couple years of my mother passing away, he remarried a woman who moved into our house and really didn't want to have anything to do with us. She moved my 2 older sisters and older brother to a shed on the property. And I was lucky enough to live in the house. Well, the rule in my house was children are to be seen and not heard. There was no such thing as speaking at the dinner table, or really speaking in general, because if you did, there was a good chance you were going to get hurt. So I grew up being small, quiet, insecure, shy. I spent a lot of time in the corner of my closet. After the 3rd turn of the whiskey cap, I knew that would be the safe place for me to go and hide. 10 years later, so the good news is I was also independent. I was making my own money by 12, and at 16, I had my own car. I had enough money to move out, and that's what I did. 10 years later, I met and married a wonderful man, my husband. We had 2 sons. I completed a couple of those unfinished college degrees that I couldn't manage to do when I was younger. And I held a lot of different jobs throughout my career in engineering and finally in holistic therapy, and my life was pretty normal. And then in 2008, I divorced my wonderful man husband and went off on my own. By 2012, my life was kind of a mess. And then one day, I received something in my inbox called Notes from the Universe. And this is one of the very first notes I received. And because there's something on the screen, I can't read the whole thing, but here it is. And what I want to say about it is I thought it was inspirational. I thought it was fun. I thought it was kind of funny. And I really liked it, but I had no idea where it had come from. And I thought it was a little arrogant for somebody to call themselves the universe. So I was curious, like, who is this person? Who does this thing? And I began to wake up every morning and read them because, again, they were inspirational, they were fun, they were funny. And I will share a few more of these in my workshop on Tuesday. But for now, I just wanted you to know that this is kind of how I got started, because at the very bottom of one of these notes one day, it said, "Come to our infinite possibilities, train the trainer." Well, I had no idea what that meant, but that voice that talks to us and tells us what to do, the voice said, "You need to go to this because one day you're going to work with the younger you." Well, again, I didn't know what that meant, but because I listened to that voice, I dialed up, I signed up, and now I was going to go to this big conference. Now, again, as someone who doesn't really like crowds, the idea of signing up for a conference is something I had never done. I was 54 at the time. And I have always played it small. I've been a great support person, but I was never someone who exposed myself to much more than I had to. As an introvert, someone who recharges her battery alone, an empath, someone who's super sensitive to everyone else's energy, and reserved, when I was at the conference with these hundreds of people who were woohoo and so excited to be there, and I ran to my room and hid. I did that thing I've always done. I avoided the crowd. When I was listening to the message, though, it resonated. It resonated so deep as something I probably needed for myself. I watched the other speakers on the stage, and many of them were like you. They were professional educators. They were confident. They've been speaking in front of people their whole lives. They were polished. I kept looking at them and thinking, I can't do that. I can't do that. So the Infinite Possibilities program was built from this book, and the training I was receiving at that time was from this book, Infinite Possibilities. And it was created by a gentleman by the name of Mike Dooley. This is Mike. Mike was in the film The Secret, if any of you are familiar with that film. He was one of the featured speakers. He's a professional speaker, New York Times bestselling book. This is his bestselling book, but he has many and many programs. And so this is what it was. But when I went to this conference, I didn't know who he was. I had no idea. But I did attend the conference. I loved the message. But again, I didn't know how I would ever become a trainer because these were my limiting beliefs. I don't have enough and I'm not good enough. That's how I felt about myself. So I took the program home and thought, well, I guess I should do this for myself first. Before I ever even consider sharing it with others, I better do it for me. At the end of session 1, you are asked to write down 3 dreams. So at that time, I had a career dream, I had a finances dream, and I had a relationship dream. Although I enjoyed my holistic therapy practice, it still felt like something was missing. I was insecure about my finances. And again, I wasn't in a relationship at the time. I had left the wonderful man husband that I had after 23 years. And so I decided to write out dreams in those 3 categories. And within 6 months, I kid you not, they all came true. So when it came to career, I had met someone at the conference who introduced me to someone from Los Angeles who did international retreats. And she invited me to come be the holistic therapist at her retreat in Italy. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. This stuff really works. And when it came to finances, this is a good one. I knew of a young man who was diagnosed when he was young with OCD, narcolepsy, and ADHD. When he came out of the psychiatrist's office with the doctor, and the doctor shared the diagnosis with his mother, the boy looked into his mother's eyes. They were pooling with tears. You could see that he felt shame about this. He felt broken. So his mother looked at him and said, "Oh my gosh, you have superpowers. That is so cool. Your brain works really, really fast. And because it works really, really fast and probably does a lot more than most brains, you get really tired, and that's why you fall asleep sometimes." The tears dried up. We shifted into a smile. That young man believed it. He went on to graduate from high school at 16. In college, he studied Chinese, Japanese, and Korean, all at the same time. He also double mastered Chinese, Japanese, all at the same time as he was getting his undergrad, and had to get special approval to do all of that. And at the age of 20, he moved off to China, started a gaming company. And at the age of 27, he was named one of Forbes magazine's top 27 under the age of 27 entrepreneurs in China. And when that happened, the young man called his mother, told her what happened, and said, "Mom, you're never going to have to worry about money again." This is my oldest son, Jared Segoda. So we took that ADHD, OCD, narcolepsy, and turned it into a superpower. And I know many of you have had those students. So if we regard it as an illness, if we regard it as something that makes a child feel broken, that's what will happen in their life. If they are told something that helps them believe in themselves, it changes the outcome. So when it came to relationship, I was at an outdoor concert with a group of friends. One of my friends looked at me as I was in the bathroom washing my hands in the sink. And she goes, "Rebecca, Mark's out there." And I remember freezing and thinking, something's come over me and I don't even know what it is. And I looked at her and I said, "Mark who?" And she said, "Your ex-husband, Mark." I started to shake. And again, I didn't know what was happening, but I felt guided. I went out, I walked out the door, and I looked across this sea of people. I saw him immediately, even though there were hundreds of people between me and him. And the tears started to come. And I walked through him, and it was like one of those scenes in a film where the sunflowers part, but it was kind of like people. And he saw me, and he did one of these. He opened his arms. He took me in, he let me sob for a while, and then he pet my hair, because that's always been the best way to calm me down. And after that, we began to take walks and talk about all the things that went wrong. In 2016, he asked me to marry him again. And so that's my relationship story. So on Tuesday, we're going to talk about how some of these things unfolded, but I won't be able to get into that today because it takes a lot of time. But suffice it to say, I was blown away. In my mind, this stuff works. And when I say stuff, I didn't say stuff at the time, but it started with an S and it only had 4 letters. But anyway, this stuff works. So if it worked so well, why wasn't I getting up and sharing it with others? And I guess I have to go back to the same thing I kept saying over and over again. I don't have enough, I'm not good enough. It's a great program, but somebody else is going to have to do that training because it's just not something I can see myself doing. I attended 4 more conferences. And then one day, one of my friends said, "Rebecca, you've been to so many of these conferences. What the heck? Like, when are you going to share the message?" And I said, "Well, I'm this and I'm that, and I'm scared, whatever." And she said, "You know what, Rebecca? It's not about you. It's about the message." And it was a cosmic 2x4 that came up and hit me in the head. I knew what she meant by that. Get out of my own way, share the message. This is the only way I was going to help others get the material that I had learned how to teach. So I did begin to teach, and I started off with where I was comfortable, one-on-one. This is my very first client. Her name is Annie. Annie had dealt with 2 years of therapy for her eating disorder, and nothing had worked. I took her through the Infinite Possibilities program. She became behavior-free. She was behavior-free 6 months later. And she eventually graduated with a degree in nutrition, and now she helps young women with eating disorders. I eventually worked my way up to small groups in my living room, and I still couldn't stand in front of them. I had to sit with them. I still just could not stand in front of a group. And eventually worked my way up to larger groups where I did retreats like the one you see here in the bottom corner. So I did enough of this that the Tut, which is the head of the Infinite Possibilities Training Group, said, okay, Rebecca, you're a trailblazer now. You've taught enough people. We'd like you to come on stage and talk about what you've done and how you did it. Well, again, I was someone who lived in my shell. I had gotten in front of these people to teach, but I still didn't want to get in front of a room of trainers to be and share with them how I did it. This is actually me agreeing to do it, and that is a turtle costume, because I designed my speech around what it feels like to be someone who is an introvert or an empath, or is going through a major life transition, or who grew up in a very volatile environment and has been small. So that was what I built my speech around. And this is me doing, again, my first speech. So in 2015, again, I had taught enough people. I felt like it was time for me to do what I know I did the training for in the first place, which was to teach the younger me. So I shared a little bit about my background with you. So the first organization I called was domestic abuse shelters. I called them up and said, hey, I have this great program. I'd love to come in and work with some of your people. I had the training now to help them. And I had a background where I could empathize with those who were there. And they said, no, thank you. And then I called the Rape Crisis Center. When I was 22 years old, I was awakened in the middle of my sleep in my apartment, in my own bed, with a pillow over my face. And I became a survivor in a serial rape case. That was one of the darkest times in my life. I spent months in depression and literally watched my plants die. And so again, I came out of it, I moved through it. I wanted to help others move through that with this program. And once again, I heard, no, thank you. I was so frustrated. I was on the phone one day with a friend of mine, and she said, Rebecca, could you work with kids? She worked at Homeless Families Foundation. And I paused just long enough for her to say, you know what, come on down. I want to show you the Dowd Center. The Dowd Center is where the kids come. We pick them up from school. We bring them here. We feed them. We help them with their homework. She said, I think you might enjoy this. So come on down. So I did. I went down to visit. And the first thing she did was take me to the library. And in the library, on this prominent shelf, was Mike Dooley's children's book, Dreams Do Come True, All They Need Is You. And I thought, okay, you're totally setting me up. And she said, what are you talking about? She didn't know what I was talking about. I thought, oh, the hair on my arms is standing up. Something's happening here. So she said, come on, let's go meet the kids. She took me upstairs and we walked into the cafeteria. And I have to tell you, I immediately got a golf ball in my throat. I'm looking around at all the picnic tables. There are 80 children in this room. And they're laughing and talking and having fun and eating. They're just like kids anywhere. But when I thought about where I was, I thought, oh, boy, this is tough. So she walked me across the cafeteria to meet the director. I met the director and I turned and I looked over my shoulder, and there on the back wall was a giant mural of that same book. This is Mike Dooley's children's book. And this is that big giant mural on the wall. Now, again, Mike is who trained me. He's who started the Infinite Possibilities program. How in the world is it that that mural is on that wall on the day that I walk in, and she's trying to convince me to take the adult program and recreate it into a young people's program? I looked up with tears in my eyes and I said, okay, I get it. All those no's had to happen so that this could be my yes. I looked at my friend Gayla and I said, Gayla, I have no idea how I'm going to do this, but sure, I'll figure it out. And as I was driving home, it hit me. At 19, I was a homeless teenager in Los Angeles. And perhaps one of the most difficult things I ever moved through was that period of time in my life. And I didn't feel like there was anyone I could turn to. And I was literally living in a car on the streets. So when I got the message to attend Infinite Possibilities training, and I was told I would one day work with the younger me, I went, oh yeah. And I knew this was all meant to be, synchronistic and meant to be. I spent the next year, 2 years, working with the kids at the Dowd Center through Homeless Families Foundation. And really, it's the kids who helped me put this together. I showed up the first day with a group of 11 students and had one class prepared, and I wanted to see how it went before I continued. They helped me over the next 2 years build it into what it became. So these were middle school students, and then the center approached me and said, hey, Rebecca, this is working out so well. Do you think you could work with our younger kids? And I'm like, wait, what? How young? And they said, well, we have some that are 5. And I thought, once again, okay, how am I going to do that? How am I going to take a middle school program and make sure that 5-year-olds can get the concepts? About that same time, I was on Facebook. I saw one of my trainer friends holding this little pillow doll, and it's literally called an ugly doll. And as soon as I looked at that picture, boom, 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 just like the rap song, these guys showed up in my head. Now, in the Infinite Possibilities program, there are 7 sessions. 7 characters showed up in my head, and there was one that represented each session of the program, and they are the Ippy kids. You see them behind me here, and I'll show you who each one is here in a minute. But each one of them represents one session of the Infinite Possibilities program, which of course now we're remolding into the I Believe in Me program because it's for kids. It's not for adults. And these 7 characters are what help move students through believing in themselves. We have, again, the 7 characters, and their names represent the sessions. This is the Infinite Possibilities session. So we skip the introduction, but thoughts become things, beliefs, emotions, taking action, instincts and hunches, dreams and desires, faith in the magical universe, and the meaning of life. So the hero of happiness represents thoughts become things. And if you're 5 and you can remember what you think about, you bring about, you've basically got the concepts of thoughts become things. Everything you think about is important, and what you think about in life unfolds in your life. Bella believes. I believe in me, and I believe in you. When you believe in yourself and others, the world's a pretty groovy place. Emotion and action. Emotion is, it feels good to feel good. And part of what we talk about throughout all of these sessions is you get to choose, so you can choose to feel good. That was the verse in the rap song. Action, lights, camera, take action. No matter how much you think the right thoughts, believe in yourself, and manage your emotions, you still have to do stuff and move towards your goals. Dreamy desire. It's good to have a dream and dream big. I introduced a new session to the kids program that is not in the adult program, and it's an entire session on meditation and visualization, the differences of them, how they work, when to use each one. And this has become one of the favorite sessions for the kids because it's the first realization they have of how much power they have and control over themselves here first. Faith. Have faith in that which you cannot see, and it will be. I'm sure we all have faith here, but for children to learn about faith, there is a faith that is religious, and that's for families and parents to talk about. This is a different kind of faith where it's just faith in that which is outside of you. Know that you're not alone. Have faith in that which you cannot see, and it will be. And then meaning of life. Meaning of life is, I love my life. We really try very hard to share with young people that if you love your life, you're going to love your life. And it doesn't happen the other way around. If you decide it first, it will unfold in a way that you love. So I had worked on the program with the kids for a long enough period of time that Mike reached out to me and said, what can I do to help? Which kind of blew my mind. And I said, you know, every time I have a new class, I'm running to Kinko's or Staples and I'm printing all the papers and putting them in binders. And do you think we could possibly get some manuals done up like the adult ones? And he said, sure, I'll take care of that for you. And he put his administrative team on editing. I am not a grammar goddess. Editing the work and printing it up into professional manuals. I wrote a children's book during this time again, and a coloring book. I wanted these concepts to be out there to young people who were not able to be trained by an I Believe in Me trainer. And so this is my children's book and my coloring book. Those are available on Amazon. So in 2016 is when I started to share the program, and I held my own trainings. I had the trainers who were Infinite Possibilities trainers come in and learn the youth version of the program. I did this in person and I also did it online. My intention all along was to reach as many young people as possible with the program. So I realized in order to do that, I had to do as Mike did and get additional trainers to go out and actually help move the program. So in 2016, I began training other trainers. In 2017, I donated the program, the entire program, to any nonprofit working with at-risk youth throughout the world. And that's part of how I came up with being a worldwide organization. You'll get to see a couple of those in a minute. So in 2019, my husband looked at me and he said, you know, I thought we were going to retire and travel and do fun stuff, and you're working more than ever. I really, really want you to retire. It took me a while to get a grip on that, but when I thought, okay, well, I guess I can do that. 2020 happened. We all know what happened when 2020 happened. Life hit the big pause button and things changed. But I still continue to think about who would like to have this? Who would like to take care of this? It's my child. So who would like to take this and continue to promote it and put it out there? And then, like all the other things that hit me in the head, I realized I was a part of a community that helped me believe in myself enough to get this done. And I didn't build this alone. They helped me. I had Mike's administrative team actually edit all my work. I had someone who sewed the dolls. I had someone who drew up the dolls. I had someone who helped format my books. I didn't know how to publish a book. So all of the people that helped me build this program and put it together were from the Infinite Possibilities community. So if they're who helped build it, why wouldn't I give it back to them? So I donated the entire program back to Tut. It is now a part of the full training package that someone gets when they go in and get their training. And there are over 2,000 trainers worldwide. And now I wanted to share with you that one of the things I knew I would do when Diana asked me if I would do this today is I will be donating all of the online materials to Delta Kappa Gamma, Ohio, to use as they see fit. So the only thing I ask once people take the materials for themselves is that you not sell it. You can share it with your children, your grandchildren, other teachers that you know, etc. So again, that would just be my only request. So just very quickly, I want to show you, because I know we're actually kind of off on the time. I have all my timing up here, and I had to just ditch that when it ran over. So I'm going to try to kind of wrap it up.
You're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay, I hadn't even really looked. So I want to show you what some of the trainers have actually done with the I Believe in Me program. By the way, Claudia up in the corner here took the entire thing and translated it into Spanish. So it is available not only in English, but in Spanish. Claudia and Debbie here are both teaching the program at home. So they gathered groups of children, and this is back when we all gathered, and taught it at home. This is Dawn and Don Coupero. They are a husband and wife team who have taken the program into an at-risk youth center in Raleigh, North Carolina. Sarah Zutler teaches here in the Olentangy School District, and she took the program into her English program. And when they had things to write about, she used portions of the program to help them not only write their composition, but to bring in some of the concepts in I Believe in Me, knowing that that would help them absorb those concepts even more and use them moving forward in their own life. The saying back on the wall here, I actually didn't catch until I put this up and started reviewing it for myself. Life is magical, you are powerful, and everyone can succeed and thrive. So this is part of what the program is all about. Amy is a retired school teacher here in the Columbus area. She created summer camps for kids. She set up girls programs and she set up boys programs, and she even worked with students with autism using the I Believe in Me program. Infant Possibilities. This is my very good friend, Thomas Norman DeWolf. He is in the Portland, Oregon area, and he took the program to a place called Grandma's House, and he incorporated the adult program and the children's program because he was working with runaway and or homeless teen moms who were either pregnant or had just given birth. Patty Hayes volunteers her time in an orphanage in Romania. And there are a few orphanages out there now that have this program available. Villages in Africa. This is Mike Dube in Zimbabwe sharing the program with kids in that village. And Maji Paterix is the director of an organization called Carefront Nigeria that goes into war-torn areas and helps the families put their lives back together. And he took the program there to work with the kids. And I woke up one morning to this video and I literally dropped to my knees and sobbed. I still get teary when I see it. So that's the kind of impact that the program has had. And if any of you are interested in it, I hope that you pick up those materials that I will be putting in a Dropbox folder, making available to Diana, and she will let you know how you can receive that. In addition, on Tuesday, I am doing a workshop, and the workshop is going to be from the adult program, not the youth program. So it's the program that I did and shared initially, but it's a 10-hour program and I'm going to have an hour. So I'm going to try to touch very briefly on some of those things. You're welcome to join me. I will be making the materials that I use for that workshop available as well, so that you can kind of get into it afterwards and use it for yourselves and create the dreams that you have or the goals that you might have right now. So let's go back to the conference. The conference, Believe, Belong, Build. By the way, I was going to zoom in and out a lot in this thing, and I'm sorry I haven't done that. Believe. Delta Kappa Gamma would like to share with the Ohio chapter today that if you believe in the countless opportunities Delta Gamma has to offer, your life will be better and richer and all of those things. I know that had I not believed in my program and in that community, and of course in myself, none of this would have ever happened. And just as an aside, I've shared with you the career moves, the development of I Believe in Me and that sort of thing. But my personal life, when I said I live the life of my dreams, I really do live the life of my dreams. And I'm so thankful for that I continue to volunteer at my annual conferences, and I work for 4 straight days to help put those together because I believe in this program so wholeheartedly. So believe in the countless opportunities that you have here, because when you belong to a community, not just as a member, but actively participating, that's how you get to know the other people. That's how you get to know other resources. One of the things we're always asked in my tech conferences is, what are you a resource for? Again, I had editors step up and tech wizards step up, and all of these people say, this is my passion and what I love to do. And those people all stepped in and helped build I Believe in Me. I certainly did not do it myself. And build. Together, you can build Ohio's future. You're the professional educators out there, and our young people need a lot right now. Last year was a rough year for them. And although many of them probably did very well, I know my oldest son would have done much better just being at home with a computer in front of him. He created a gaming company, so the computer was his life. But for you, building Ohio's future absolutely, definitely includes those young people that many of you still work with. So what is your dream or goal? These are some of my students creating vision boards. Another favorite activity. You just cut and paste things onto a board that represent what you want in life. Pictures of things you want. The words you want. And to leave you today, I'm going to share another verse of the rap song. I'm not going to rap this one. I'm just going to read it to you. Dreams are important. They are wishes of the heart. Each of us is different, but we all play a part. So make the world a better place by living out your dream. Share your talent and your passion. Be heard, be seen. So at the end of my Trailblazer talk, I removed my turtle costume and I was wearing this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt. Here is my contact information. If you'd like to friend me on Facebook, I don't put a lot of my work up anymore because, again, I'm supposed to be kind of retired. But I would be happy to friend you if any of you get the program and would like to ask me personal questions about it. I am accessible through my email or through private message on Facebook. These are some of my Facebook pages. But again, if you friend me, I'll probably automatically put you there because this is where we met. And on that note, thank you again very much for being here. I hope I shared some things today that will be helpful for you or inspirational for you. And Melody, thank you so much for initiating me being here today. Diana, thank you for asking me as well. And I see, Kathy Doherty, that you might still be here. If there are any other chapters within your organization that would like me to share this same thing, I would be happy to. And I would also give them the program. So just FYI. I want to reach as many young people as possible. That's going to be my intention, I think, forever. So thank you very much. I was honored.
Thank you. I don't know whether yes. Thank you, Rebecca. And you're right, it's not about you, it's about the message. And I think we heard your message very loud and clear. We especially appreciate the fact that you told us your story and through your puppets, and I appreciate what you have done. And I'm sure all of those individuals out there in virtual land that have heard your message today will be anxious to sign up for your workshop on Tuesday if they have not done that already. I've heard many of positive comments already on the chat. So thanks to you, and we will see you again on Tuesday.
Okay,
Thank
thank you so
you.
much, Diana.
You're welcome. Don't go too far, Rebecca. We're going to do something special next. Okay. Now you guys can understand, you have witnessed firsthand Rebecca Segoda and what she stands for, what she believes in, what she belongs to, and what she has built. And we are going to honor her with a state membership. And we want to go about inducting her right now. It will be officiated by our membership committee. Debbie?
Yes.
Give me some guidance here.
All right, I'm ready to go.
Hi, Debbie.
Okay.
Great. Madam President, I present to you Rebecca Segoda, Ohio State Organization's candidate for honorary membership in the Delta Kappa Gamma Society International.
Rebecca, a member of the Delta Kappa Gamma Ohio State Organization, has observed the work you have established with the at-risk youth program, I Believe in Me. You believe in today's youth. Your program's curriculum is designed to help build self-esteem, and it is through this positive self-awareness and reinforcement that enables and empowers the program's participants to realize that they can and do belong in our society and truly have a place to be productive and valued as contributing members.
Rebecca.
Yes.
You can take pride in an organization with approximately 69,000 members worldwide. You can take pride in the many benefits you will share with them, from leadership training, community programs, worldwide projects, conferences, networking contacts, technological opportunities, face-to-face learning, plus the constant support of your fellow Ohio State Organization members.
Rebecca, to develop true appreciation for the honor being bestowed upon you today, we want you to know someone noticed and observed your work with children, noticed or noted your high ethical standards, that someone also believed in your abilities and promising potential, holds you in high esteem, seeks your association, and as a result of all that I just mentioned, honored you and your accomplishments with a recommendation for honorary membership into Delta Kappa Gamma Society International.
Our guiding principles are the same original purposes created when Delta Kappa Gamma was first established and are just as appropriate today as they were back then. We encourage you to commit to our society's mission and vision, program of work, and to the fulfillment of the following 7 purposes: to unite women educators of the world in a genuine spiritual fellowship, to honor women who have given or who show a potential for distinctive service in any field of education, to advance the professional interest and position of women in education, to initiate, endorse, and support desirable legislation or other suitable endeavors in the interest of education and of women educators, to endow scholarships to aid outstanding women educators in pursuing graduate study, and to grant fellowships to non-member women educators, to stimulate the personal and professional growth of members, and to encourage their participation in appropriate programs of action, to inform the members of current economic, social, political, and educational issues so that they may participate effectively in a world society.
Rebecca, your presence here today signifies for us your willingness to assume responsibilities in the Delta Kappa Gamma Society International. We ask that you contribute to the society with your participation by sharing your interests, talents, and professional expertise, and to seek out opportunities to grow personally and professionally. If this is your desire, please respond by saying, "I will support the organization."
I will support the organization.
Debbie, you're muted.
I got it. Members of Ohio State Organization are honored and pleased that you have consented to join us. We value you, your expertise, and the abilities you will bring to our state organization and society. It is our hope that you will find our society to be a beneficial asset in your life. It is our desire that you will take pride in our organization, that you will realize the intrinsic value of your membership, make lifelong friends, enjoy the support our members show for one another's passions, personal triumphs, and professional accolades, that you benefit from the personal opportunities offered and experience DKG's educational impact within your community, state, country, and world.
Rebecca, you have proven to be a champion for at-risk youth, and your verbal acknowledgement as well as commitment to support our purposes of this international organization. On behalf of everyone here today, we offer you a hearty congratulations and warmest wishes as you begin your membership journey. Enter our company, share our friendships, and join us as you continue to believe, belong, and build. Welcome to Ohio State Organization Delta Kappa Gamma Society International. We are thrilled to have you among us. Thank you, Rebecca. Let's all give her a hand.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah. We look
Thank you
forward
so
to,
much.
yeah, we look forward to your association and sharing your program. How wonderful is that? You've already started to integrate yourself into our society. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Welcome. Take
I
care.
look forward to getting to know everyone better.
Right. And you'll get a lot of information. So.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I realize on the schedule we have a 5-minute break, and since we're running slightly behind, we're going to go ahead and keep moving forward. If you need to take that break, ladies, go right ahead. But we are going to continue with the birthday celebration with Sandy from the Alpha Delta State Ohio Foundation. Sandy?
Hello. Let's party, everyone. We're so happy you are at our OSO birthday party. I'm Sandy Royer from Delta Kappa, and I serve as the fundraising committee chair for ADSOEF. Now, on the screen, Eileen is going to, there we're coming. You're excellent, Eileen. And how about there we go. Thank you, Eileen. Now, who are we celebrating? Happy 83rd birthday to us. Since January 22nd, 1938, DKG in Ohio has a strong history and rich traditions. The birthday luncheon gifting at state convention is one of these traditions. Why are we celebrating? As Ohio State Organization of Delta Kappa Gamma, we are steadfast in our loyalty to one another as educators during good times and bad. Also, we strive to honor our commitment to DKG, to philanthropy, and to investing in the future of educational excellence. Giving a gift for our birthday demonstrates our investment in the society, for each other, and for the future. Thank you for the gifts for this celebration received so far. We'll unwrap those soon. Some members did not have a chance to send a gift yet. Remember, you choose the fund for your financial investment based on your passion. Many sisters give to Esther H. Strickland Student Teaching Grant Fund, and soon we will hear about who received those awards. Also, as a young and evolving foundation, the director suggests giving to the programs of ADSOEF, which means no restriction, and thus allows our directors to focus our investments on program funds with the most need. Spring reminds us to help our flower garden grow. Seed money of $1,000 via an anonymous donor has sprouted and is in full bloom. Do you see the bloom on the screen? I do. Let your money seeds sprout too. Today, we recognize OSO's founding, your chapter's birthday, and the founding of Delta Kappa Gamma Society International in 1929. You may honor an individual for their birthday too. Please make your gift considering what you might have given in past years to the birthday luncheon. You may celebrate through the link on our website, gifting with your credit card, or print a contribution form and mail it with your check. Please share this gifting event with your sisters, and let's see growth through the end of April and bring in a bountiful harvest. And now, what is the total of gifts received through Thursday, April the 8th? Let's unwrap those gifts, the envelopes, opening. The total dollars through Thursday is $4,110 from individuals and $1,432 from chapters. Wow, that's amazing. But I know we are not finished yet. After more gifts are received, you'll read the grand total in the voice. Now, what's missing so far at this party? You see it on the screen. We need cake. Does this cake look delicious? I think so. Now, before we can take a bite, let's hear Happy Birthday sung by Chris Snoddy. Chris, take it away.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, OSO. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Chris. Wonderful. Now, I know there are some people that are ready for a taste of cake. There are 6 individuals at this time, and they are the fundraising committee. Diane.
I'm not sure we'll be able to do it. It's hard to sift through all those 200 names.
I understand. Okay. Well, everyone visualize Diane Brogan Adams eating her cake. And if you can see her because she happens to be up on your screen, then know that she is enjoying a very tasty bite of cake. Second on the committee, Jane Meese. Jane, I know that bite of cake is tasting very good. Third committee member, Barb Zerke. And whoever can see Barb, I think she has balloons behind her. Thank you, Barb. I'm sure that helps the cake taste even better. Next, Jackie Thace Birch. I think Jackie has chocolate cake, and I'm sure it's tasty. And I'm going to have a bite of my cake. Happens to be strawberry. Delicious. And ex officio on our committee is Kathy McClendon, the foundation chairman. Kathy, I'm sure your birthday tastes great. I'm sure your birthday cake tastes great. Thank you, committee. We appreciate each member on the committee. And ladies here in attendance, we appreciate you for coming to celebrate OSO, DKG, your sisters, and others close to your heart. Send in your gifts through the end of April. Make time to enjoy some cake or other sweet treat. And thank you for attending our virtual party.
Thank you, Sandy. That's called eating your cake and having it too, right? Okay, now we will have Marilyn Slusher, who is going to introduce the Esther Strickland Teaching Grant recipients. You're on, Marilyn.
It is a thrill to share exciting news from the OSO Scholarship Committee. Our committee received several Esther H. Strickland Student Teaching Grant applications from students attending the 13 state-supported universities in Ohio. We were able to award 10 recipients this grant for the school year 2021-2022. These recipients are humbled and honored to receive this award as they begin their career in education. Watch as you get to meet each of the recipients and their respective universities. Brooke Anderson, Shawnee State. Brooke Carver, Wright State University. Carly Derrickson, Ohio University, Lancaster. Alicia Jenkins, Ohio State University, Newark. Ross Kaufman, Ohio State University, Lima. Samantha Lowe, Ohio University, Lancaster. Megan Manning, Wright State University. Ashlyn Moore, Wright State University. Michael Sweeney, Ohio University. Maya Violet, Wright State University. Congratulations to all of these OSO Esther H. Strickland Student Teaching Grant recipients. Currently, the ADSOEF Foundation is supporting the A. Margaret Boyd Overseas Fellowship recipient, Ganelle Alice Groba, at Kent State University with an extension for the school year 2021-2022. Ganelle is from Azerbaijan and is seeking a master's degree in educational assessment, evaluation, and research. Ganelle is with us today and was introduced to our members at the ADSOEF annual meeting. At this time, I would ask Janelle to wave to all of the members of OSO so they can meet you and so you can see them. Thank you, my dear, for being here. OSO members, let us not forget that we have scholarships available for all members wishing to secure graduate degrees or additional graduate credit. These scholarships are the Annie Webb Blanton Scholarship, which can be used at any university, the Florence L. Woodward Scholarship at Kent State University, the Margaret L. White Scholarship for use at the Ohio State University, and the Ruth Grimes Scholarship to be used at Miami University. ADSOEF Foundation offers the A. Margaret Boyd International Study Fellowship for Ohio members. This fellowship allows OSO members to study abroad for 1 year, as long as the study is affiliated with an accredited university. The Scholarship Committee wishes to thank all members and chapters that have contributed to the ADSOEF Foundation for use in the Scholarship Fund. This truly allows us to fulfill purpose number 5 of the Delta Kappa Gamma Society International. Thank you to the OSO ADSOEF Scholarship Committee for their dedication and work during this biennium. Sharon Calhoun Beta Lambda Chapter, Sue Loader Alpha Psi Chapter, Danielle Sobchak Alpha Theta Chapter, Jackie Thace Birch Alpha Upsilon, and myself. Thank you so much, Diana.
You're welcome, Marilyn, and thank you for the tremendous amount of work that your committee has performed for this biennium. It is very much appreciated. We will now move on to the next phase or item. It's chapter COVID happenings, which has been compiled by our very abled editor of The Voice, Kathy Tenney. And here we go. I'll wait until my clock is done chiming. Now you can understand, as you viewed this video, that we did not let things stand in our way. We made challenges into opportunities, and you can see why I am so proud of all of you that made the best of the way things turned out. I am so proud and honored to have been your president. We will now move on to our celebration of life. Debbie, did you want to say something first?
No, just a big heartfelt thank you to the committee for pulling together to video this and all the work they've put into it. I appreciate each and every one of them.
And we appreciate each and every one of them too. Thank you.
Invitation to reverence. For everything, there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to harvest, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to cry and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to turn away, a time to search and a time to quit searching, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to hear and a time to mend, a time to be quiet and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace.
Responsive reading. To the living, I am gone. To the sorrowful, I will never return. To the angry, I was cheated. To the happy, I am at peace. To the faithful, I have never left.
Remember me.
I cannot speak, but I can listen. I cannot be seen, but I can be heard. So as you stay connected to this community,
Remember me.
as you gaze at a beautiful sunset,
Remember me.
as you look in awe at the vast open plains,
Remember me.
keep me in your hearts, in your thoughts, and in your memories of the times we loved, the times we cried, and the times we laughed.
Remember me.
For if you always think of me, I will never have gone if you simply
Remember me.
If there ever comes a day when we can't be together, keep me in your heart, and I'll stay there forever.
Remember me.
The Dash by Linda Ellis. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of her birth and spoke the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years, for that dash represents all the time that she spent alive on earth, and now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this little dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash?
A tribute to Donna Louise Brandon. A quiet, methodical, soft-spoken woman who filled her life with books, volunteering, learning, and caring for others epitomizes the member to whom we pay tribute today. Donna Brandon was a woman who leaves a legacy of selfless love for others throughout her entire life. It was on August 8th, 2019, that Donna Louise Brandon said goodbye to her earthly life, and the heavens gained a bright, shining star. Donna, an only child, was born on April 26th, 1933, in East Springfield, Ohio, to Ernest D. and Katie B. Brandon. Her desire for learning began on the family farm where her love of books and animals took root. She graduated from Jewett High School and soon became a student at Kent State University, graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree in 1962. In 1967, Donna received her master's degree in science and reading specialization. Miss Brandon, as she was always referred to, was a teacher at Marlington Local Schools for 7 years. She also spent time teaching high school reading and math at Alliance and Canton South High Schools. It was in 1998 that Donna retired from education. However, the door for learning really never closed for Donna, as in 2000, she began volunteering at Canton Calvary Mission. Here, Donna helped form the mission and its tutorial program. She also spent 6 years as the mission's intake clerk at the food pantry. During this time, she served on its board of directors for 8 years. Calvary Mission was a very dear place in Donna's heart. Donna was passionate about her love for books, as she knew one could travel the world through books, and travel she did. Her favorite traveling companion was her mother, and together they visited 49 states, including Hawaii. She herself went to China twice with the Ohio Vocational Association. It was once said that if Donna wasn't traveling with her mother, she was traveling with her book. As Donna traveled, she was always looking to find different teddy bears, as that was another of her loves. At one time, it was said she had a collection of over 300 bears. I'm sure they helped to brighten her day as she recalled the giver or how the bear made its way to stay in Donna's house. Donna's life in Delta Kappa Gamma began on April 1st, 1970, when she was inducted into Beta Beta Chapter and later became a member of Delta Tau Chapter. It was in 1983 that Donna attended the Delta Kappa Gamma Golden Gift Seminar at Baylor University. She served on many chapter and state committees and filled many offices in each of the chapters. Donna was chosen to serve the Ohio State organization, where she worked tirelessly and became Alpha Delta State's 31st president in 1999 to 2001. Survived by her church family at Newcomers Chapel of Pigeon Run United Methodist Church, former students and friends say, "May Donna always be remembered for her love of helping others." One former student once said, "Miss Brandon was a strong and admirable lady. She gave so much to her students and to others."
In memory of our departed sisters, we light a candle for you to shatter all the darkness and bless the times we knew. Like a beacon in the night, your flame burns bright, guiding us on our way. Oh, today we light this candle for you. Ohio State Organization, Donna L. Brandon, Jeanette Snyder, Susan R. Swallen, Beta, Joanne K. Croft, Doris L. Smith, Gamma, Sarah E. Herfel, Miriam L. Hinton, Carol Kiefer, Delta, Miranda S. Moritz, Epsilon, Flora C. Aker, Zeta, Beverly A. DeBlase, Artis D. Garman, Dr. Harriet E. Parcher, Mu, Frances Ritz, Ruth A. Stevenson, Omicron, Diane Elliott, Florence L. Tackett, Pi, Jeanette M. Brazier, Jeannie Brandt, Yvonne T. Rawl. Dorothy L. Rankin.
New row. Marilyn A. August. Marie A. Decapiti. Laurette Sinkowski. Sigma. Mary L. Gasper. Lillian E. Krasansky. Elizabeth J. Patak. Tau. Elizabeth M. Nassif. Cheryl White Ewing. Upsilon. Dana L. Sherman. Phi. Elizabeth A. Dalton. Karen C. Rodovian. Sister Dorothy Mattingly. Chi. Thelma Hopkins. Omega. Jane A. Friend. Alpha Delta. Carol W. Bookman. Gladys W. Shoemaker. Norma J. Wilson. Alpha Zeta. Janet M. Webb. Alpha Eta. Helen J. Brumfield. Sister Loretta Sopp. Alpha Theta. Marilyn J. Bupp. Elizabeth A. Grining.
Alpha Iota. Lowena L. Mara. Catherine M. Spielman. Patricia B. Trotter. Alpha Lambda. Susan Manners. Alpha Mu. Dr. Patricia Hornberger. Georgia E. Smith. Alpha Nu. Helen L. Neal. Alpha Xi. Barbara Downhour. Deborah J. Money. Patricia L. Napier. Lynn M. Risch. Alpha Sigma. Janet Booth. Donna J. March. Gracie M. Rissler. Alpha Tau. Odette G. Bailey. Mary Beth Corbett. B. Gail Eckler. Alpha Phi. Virginia Stuckert. Alpha Xi. Rose F. Ish. Dr. Marilyn Murphy. Mary Pollock. Alpha Omega. Mary J. DeCristofaro. Cynthia Sweeney.
Beta Alpha, Linda Deal, Georgiana Jenkins. Beta Gamma, Tamara H. Colon, Geraldine Wilson. Beta Delta, Sally J. Kennedy. Beta Epsilon, Doris C. King. Norma Zorn. Beta Zeta, Loretta J. Brannon. Ruth R. Johnson. Sue C. Meyer. Doris Ruby. Beta Kappa, Ruth E. Hines. Beta Lambda, Marjorie E. Blair. Dr. Annette E. Jefferson. Elizabeth C. Meyer. Beta Nu, Dr. Nancy Harmont. Joyce A. Hoffman. Janet L. Peter. Beta Xi, Esther R. Ryan. Beta Rho, L. Marlene Moody. Mary L. Partee. Anne L. Ramey. Molly H. Schiff. Betty A. Schaefer.
Beta Upsilon, Arilla Bauer. Beta Chi, Lois J. Brown. Mary L. Kraus. Beta Psi, Karen E. Rumping. Gamma Theta, Margaret E. Barb. Gamma Lambda, Mary Maloney. Gamma Mu, Dr. Mary C. Wells.
Gamma Nu, Helen G. Burkall. Gamma Pi, Barbara Huberty. Isla J. Paxson. Dr. Jean A. Williams. Gamma Phi, Joanne Jones. Delta Delta, Bonnie L. Clement. Delta Iota, Madeline Bing. Vivian J. Brown. Delta Kappa, Mary L. Whistler Miller. Delta Upsilon, Joellen Eberhardt. Jeanette E. Edel. Zovenar N. Lair. Delta Chi, Reverend Virginia A. Duffy. Gail House. Catherine S. Sabo. Delta Omega, Rosalie A. Doran. Afterglow. I'd like the memory of me to be a happy one. I'd like to leave an afterglow of smiles when life is done. I'd like to leave an echo whispering softly down the ways of happy times and laughing times and bright sunny days. I'd like the tears of those who grieve to dry before the sun of happy memories that I leave behind when day is done.
Well, ladies, we've concluded our convention for the year 2021. I thank all of you for being with us today. We proved that we can do imaginable and possibilities. Thank you for coming, and I would like to leave you with the following words. I am so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just got started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. There's a time you put aside for dreaming and a time for things you have to do. The time I love the best is the time I can spend a moment here with you. When the time comes that I'm feeling lonely and I'm feeling, oh, so blue, I just sit back and think of you only, and the happiness still comes through. That's why I'm glad we had this time together, because it made me feel I belong. It seems we just got started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Thanks for spending your time with us at the 2021 OSO convention. We're glad to have had this time together, but sadly, the time has come to say so long. Go in peace, and until we meet again, God bless. Goodbye. Should I tell them they can leave now? Oh, they are. We're down to 60. Yeah. No, we are. Yeah. Should I just get up and leave? I want
I, Jane Huff from New Road Chapter, would like to sign off. Tried to get to the chat session, but it didn't work for me. And also sign out my member, Gail Ali, New Road Chapter. Thank you again. Wonderful convention. Okay.